Hi, my name's Tia Weiss, and I am an Associate Manager of Strategic Projects at Main Street America. On a recent webinar, we shared with communities some tips and ideas for preparing their main streets for the 2024 total solar eclipse. And I'd like to follow up with some specific resources that I think could serve as a good starting point for next steps. One resource we shared in that earlier webinar was the Simons Foundation's In the Path of Totality initiative. The Simons Foundation, through this initiative, is supporting efforts all along the path of totality, partnering with museums, cultural centers, main streets, festivals, craft breweries, and much more. Visit their website for more on this incredible initiative. I heard from a number of our Main Street America in the Path of Totality grantees that this short, compelling video produced by NPR on the 2017 total solar eclipse, that it's very compelling and very helpful for sharing with people in their downtowns and communities at large why the total solar eclipse is so important. It captures people's reactions and the meanings that they attributed to the event as a shared cultural experience. And it shows how many people came from all across the country to watch the total solar eclipse as it crossed 14 states in the US from Oregon to South Carolina. The American Astronomical Society's Eclipse Task Force has a really incredible clearinghouse of information and materials about the eclipse and preparing for the eclipse. One of the really important resources that they've put together are resources on eye safety, and they have a curated list of locations, manufacturing partners, vendors, and others for solar eclipse viewing glasses. In addition, you can join their email list to get regular updates from them on new resources as they become available and any other events they may hold online between now and the April 2024 eclipse. You can find more at eclipse.aas.org. The Great American Eclipse website is another great clearinghouse for information. They have really incredible maps, some of which people saw on our webinar presentation earlier today, and that you'll see throughout guides and materials created explaining to people what to expect for the eclipse. So you can find those materials at greatamericaneclipse.com. The Eclipse map is a really great interactive map that is searchable by city that explains and shows details about the eclipse, including the phenomena that you can expect to see at each site for places in the path of totality and outside the path of totality for those people who will experience a partial eclipse. It also includes details like the expected cloud cover that you might see at that particular site. So again, that is the Eclipse map that is done by the Eclipse Company and partners. Another great resource is Dr. Kate Rousseau's Being in the Shadow, her Community Solar Eclipse Planning Guide. Communities that did some really wonderful things in 2017 said this was their starting point, and she has updated this guide for the 2024 eclipse. A great resource for rural communities is one that was created by the Indiana Center for Rural Engagement. It also has great ideas, tips, plans for getting started, how to engage your community around the eclipse, and more. Again, this is a great resource for rural communities. As Main Streets, a number of you are very interested in the history of the eclipse, and there's a great blog by David Barron on StarNet that is about making your own history exhibit. It's called Portal to the Past, Make Your Own Eclipse History Exhibit, where it takes you step by step in how to begin and what sorts of materials you may want to seek out to learn whether the eclipse came through your town some hundred or hundreds of years ago, and in that 100 or so years ago, if there was any reporting on it, how you might leverage that towards an exhibit or for promoting the eclipse in your town in 2024 or for the day of the event. We have our own Main Street America resource guide, which we updated recently with additional links and materials. It also points to the blogs that we shared earlier this year on communities in 2017 that experienced a total eclipse, sharing tips for how to get started, as well as those blogs on hosting science events on Main Street. You can find that on our website in the Path of Totality section. And finally, we have The Point, which is our all-member community for us at Main Street America and all of you, where you can ask questions, share resources that you're finding about the eclipse, and again, just connect with one another around what you're doing or what questions you may have and challenges you may come across as you begin planning for the eclipse and getting started with that. If you have questions specifically about accessing The Point, I recommend reaching out to membership@mainstreet.org. Thank you so much. If you would like to reach me or the In the Path of Totality at Main Street America grant team, you can email pathoftotality@mainstreet.org, or you can email me directly at tvice@mainstreet.org. Thank you.